As the industrialization was developing through the northwest of the United States, the white settlers wanted to expand their territory in search for minerals and other benefits for the growth of the economy. For this reason, the government ordered the military to begin relocating and building forts along the Bozeman Trail, which was also regarded as a sacred land for the Native Americans. The U.S. Army was commanded by Captain William Fetterman, and when they were about to confront the Native Americans, they were easily lured into a trap where they were instantly surrounded. This fight lasted for a while until the U.S. Army was defeated and the Native Americans won the fight.
The Congress brought up the Indian Peace Commission, which objectives were to pretend to keep harmony between the different ethnic groups. It proposed the idea of the Native Americans moving out into reservations, and additionally, they promised to pay them a decent amount of money to sustain their needs. As soon as the Native Americans accepted the commission, they were forced to move into the reservations right away. Eventually, they were never paid, and many died of starvation, sickness, and coldness.
The buffalo was revered by the Native Americans. The hunting of this animal was accompanied by a great respect in appreciation for all the benefit it provided. As a way of appreciation, they wouldn't have a massive kill of buffaloes. Instead, they could just hunt a necessary amount of buffalo and let them keep reproducing for food use. Given that the white settlers started to hunt the buffalo as sport or entertainment, rather than using it in a productive way, furthermore, the military encouraged the nation to the massive killing of this animal. As a consequence, a few buffalo remained for Native Americans for their sustain and nourishment.
Tensions between the native inhabitants of the Great Plains and the white settlers resulted in an armed conflict known as the Battle of Little Bighorn.
1876.
It was a battle between the Lakota Northern Cheyenne and the 7th Cavalry of the United States Army, where Lakota Northern Cheyenne defeated the 7th Cavalry of the United States Army and General Custer was killed. He thought it was going to be easy to invade their territory and defeat the Native Americans, but the Native Americans won the war.
And George Armstrong Custer became a byword for vainglory and foolhardiness. But the latest historical research shows an astonishing truth. Custer stood poised to win against all the odds, and his actions, far from foolish, were based on a brutally simple and far from glorious plan.
As As a way of manifesting resistance toward government orders, they perform a ritual dance called Ghost Dance that hoped for a day where settlers will suffer for all their wrongdoings. Federal authorities thought that this was a war dance and feared that violence would break out. Soon after Chief Sitting Bull was killed, a deadly battle broke at Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota, taking the lives of 25 U.S. soldiers and approximately 200 Dakota men, women, and children.
Down that cold December day, and the story was always the same. Cannons and rifles they came, they claimed a victory over the enemy. Women and children all cried, 'cause their husbands and fathers had died. And when the soldiers turned their guns, did not help to
The Dawes Act was passed by the Congress to alter the reservation system by introducing farming and ranching to Native Americans. The ones that assimilated the American society will have its citizenship granted. Yet many of them failed to follow the plan shaped by the Americans, but they prefer their traditional lifestyle.
This act officially granted the natives an American citizenship.
Since the Dawes Act failed, the Indian Reorganization Act reversed everything the Dawes Act did. It secured certain rights to Native Americans. It gave them total control over their lands and permitted them to elect their own governments.
Powerful. You can't defeat what you can't see. And that's the spiritual power.